Okay, so everything's labeled. I've got 10 doors to build. So this is panel number 1. This is a side rail 1, and top and bottom number 1. So you have lots of pieces. You gotta make sure everything's labeled. I actually had hours of footage of me building these rails and stiles and cutting out the dados and chamfering that inside corner, and I lost all the footage somehow. It's gone. There's no way I'm gonna redo that footage. So we're just skipping right to assembly. But yeah, it took several days to process these 2x6s. They're just regular 2x6 Doug fir from Lowe's, from the big box store, and cut them down on my table saw. Let's stand this guy up. Oh my gosh! That's a heavy door. It looks freaking awesome though. I mean, so far, it's looking really good. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna add glue to this one. Add glue to that one. We'll throw some glue in there for fun. I would be doing this very differently if it was stain grade, if we were going to stain this project after it was completed. But it is paint grade. We're painting this, so any cracks or imperfections can just get caulked and puttied and painted over. And glue is really important not to make a mess when you're doing stain grade, because the glue will seal the grain and then you go to stain it and the stain won't penetrate the wood at all. So I actually really like that standing up method versus laying it down is a lot easier for me. This way. Shove a clamp on here and then nail it together so we have decent pressure. Okay, that's snug. Before I really crank on it, I'm going to get this corner flush with itself. I'm going to get everything where it belongs, and then I'm going to measure and square this thing up, because it's pretty easy to make it not square in this situation. The big 6-inch joint helps to keep it pretty close, but if you need to rack it one way or the other, this would be the time to do it. Oh, this garage is too small. I need a bigger shop. Okay. I'm gonna put this one here. Where did my hammer go? This. Yeah, it broke. That's nice and straight. Come on. Get over there. There we go. That one's nice and straight. That one's good. That one's packed in, actually. Too far. Go back. Right there. That's not perfect, but. There we go. That's nice and flush. Okay, so to square something up, all you gotta do is measure from corner to corner. It's classic construction technique. And be like ultra precise with this. So this is not 62 inches, it's 61 and 31/32. Okay, and if it's square, this diagonal should be the same measurement. This one is right on. It's perfectly square. Perfectly the same measurement. So that means we can put these clamps back on, give it some real pressure, and nail everything together. This joint over here, for some reason, is high. This piece, can you even see what I'm doing? This piece is lower than this piece. All the other ones turned out nice and flush, and the registration of those biscuits worked out great. But for some reason, this one wants to be different. So I'm just gonna shove a clamp on there and make those two pieces come together. Okay, that can get sanded out. Now that everything's tight and clamped, we can run our nail gun. Oh shoot. I've got 1-inch 18 gauge nails, and I'm just gonna come in here like that and tack down that biscuit, because I don't have, 20 clamps. I only have 2. So that'll tack down that biscuit and hold that joint together while the glue dries. That's where it's going to be. You can take these off and use them for the next door. And we can set this aside somewhere flat. You want it to dry flat, because even though it's square, it might have a little bit of twist in it. What does that say? Change the battery. Oh dear. So we'll let this dry, and then we'll trim up the biscuits and go. We'll set this aside and move on to the next one. We're on location with the doors. We're going to put them in this hole right here. First thing to do is install the hardware, the runners, the rails, the wheels, all that stuff, and just follow the instructions that came with the hardware that you purchased. I'm not going to run through that tutorial because your hardware is going to be different than mine. Just follow the instructions. So hang them. So that's the first set of doors in. 5 more sets to go, or 4 more sets to go, because I have 5 sets. My painter's gonna come in tomorrow after I get all these in and spray these so we get a nice clean finish on them. And then once they're painted, we'll finish the trim out. So this is an attic space that we actually converted into 2 bedrooms, a little TV room, and a half bath. So this space is going to be the little TV room, and then around the corner is the bathroom with a pocket door. Tiny little bathroom. On this side is 1 bedroom. And on this side is the other bedroom. Plenty of closet space, lots of storage. The floor is already in, that's why the paper's down. And my painter's going to come and finish and touch up, paint all the doors, and then we'll put the stairs in, because those are just construction stairs right now, temporary. And then we'll run some baseboard and be done. So we're finally on to the trim out. So we're doing 1x4 on the sides of the casing and 1x6 on the header. But when you're installing this, I actually messed this up because I was just going with my habit. You actually mount the header a lot lower. You don't, on a typical door, you'd bring this up and leave like a little 1/4 inch reveal right there on that jamb. But on closet doors, you're gonna come down an extra 1.5 inches to cover up all this hardware, right? So I could have done with even 1 3/4 inches and really covered that top edge up, but when you're standing up fully, it doesn't. It looks really nice. But if I raise that up, you would see that gray bar all the way across the top. So you need to make sure you bring that trim down far enough to cover all that hardware. Just like that.